Hey friends, Pastor Michael from Organic Church. We're excited for another season of growing together. We'd love to have you join us on Sunday mornings at 10 or Wednesday evenings at 7 for friends, family, and a whole lot of Jesus.
Here.
Why?
The weather and just because last weekend it rained and that was like just cut. Yeah, that was just got me off on the wrong foot.
Now it's been pretty windy.
Yeah, but I got all the
the
blow ups down. At least I got them underneath the porch so they can't continue to get wet because that's such a big thing. I have to wait till it's dry to put them away.
Yeah.
So I got to get them all. So if I just today I got up on the roof, got those down. Got them underneath so they'll stay dry. I mean, it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I got a couple hanging up I want to get a little more dried up. But, yeah, it's just... and, of course, with the time change,
And
you get home from work late, then you eat supper, and then...
Yeah. You need your headlights so you can go out and work.
Yeah.
Well, I was out there last night until probably 7:30.
I've got a toboggan that has a little headlamp in it if you want it.
And I don't mind, like, during Christmas time, I don't mind being out there putting stuff up in the dark, but there's just something about tearing it down in the dark. I just, like,
it's not
don't have that motivation, I guess.
Yeah.
Because when I'm putting it up, I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
Doing
like, what's it going to look like?
Tearing it down, I'm just like, I just want to get this over with so I can start Christmas.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so it's kind of slow going so far. And this weekend don't look much better. Like, I think Friday's
Friday's
wet.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain Friday.
So, I don't know. And I got to get the grass mowed one more time. Got to. I can't put up decorations if...
Yeah.
In a hayfield?
Yeah. It just looks shabby. I can't do it. So...
Yeah.
But we don't have snow on Monday.
That's what I was about to say. Someone told me.
Really?
Yeah.
They said a chance of snow on Monday.
And I've been seeing lots and lots of caterpillars.
Yeah.
The black one, orange ones.
What does that mean?
On my porch. Doesn't that mean a harsh winter?
Yeah,
I think it does.
If there's a lot of, on one way or the other, there's a lot of black.
I think it's more harsh. If they're orange, it's mild.
Yeah. But I've just seen more of them than usual this year.
You know what? Now that you say that, I have too.
They're getting ready to hunker down for the winter.
Yeah.
So, might be coming early. I don't know.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say early, but...
If it comes early and doesn't stay as long, I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Don't stay till May, please.
Yeah, you stop and think. We really haven't had any bad winters.
I know.
3-4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
well, right after Christmas last year, it got pretty ugly because I couldn't put my decorations away because they were all underneath ice.
Yeah.
And I had to wait for it all to thaw out. So it was like right after New Year, we got a good snowstorm and an ice storm.
Oh, and it was like
built on top of each other.
It was like cold. It was really cold, and then it froze. Yeah, I remember that.
So
yeah,
but you're right. Otherwise, we haven't really had.
I mean, when I was a kid,
here we go.
When it started, when it snowed, it stayed until April. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad. I guess
But you still went to school.
Yeah.
And walked uphill.
Yeah. Both ways.
Both ways.
No, just one way.
Just one way.
It was downhill going home, but it was uphill going to school. Yes, it was. Everybody says, "Oh yeah, walked uphill, going to school uphill." Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it was uphill.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to go in your bare feet too?
Nope.
That's good.
No.
Carry your books in a potato sack?
No. I had everybody books home.
He's like, what books?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Maggie said something today that she thinks they're now grading tests with AI.
Really? Well, you know what?
I thought, but at the same time, she was like, yeah, the teacher was really watching to make sure that we weren't using AI for the test. And she had something up on her computer, and maybe the teacher got the impression that she was using it. But she's like, yeah, but they're using AI to grade it. And I was like, well, it's sad to say, but that's the world we live in now. Because everybody's going to use AI one way or the other. Nothing's going to stop it now.
Yep. I was thinking that the other day. I'm like, man, like I probably could have went, and I'm sure I could have went to college, like if I really put my mind to it. But with AI, I really could have went to college and just passed with passing colors. Like, I mean,
not me. I don't know how AI works. AI.
Just say, hey, hey AI, how do I use you? And it'll tell you. And then it'll even say, I can actually get that started for you if you'd like. Just tap this button, and then it just
I'm afraid
up.
tap buttons because things just disappear, and I don't like that.
I told Cooper the other day like how he was really pushing my buttons or something. He's obsessed with buttons, and he got so confused. He's like, what? I was like, oh yeah,
where are these buttons?
Bad sense of words, like bad choice of words. Yeah. Buttons. I'm trying to think.
Button. Who's got the button?
The topic.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to think of a segue for the topic with buttons, but I don't think it's going to work.
Nope. I don't see it happening.
Well, a lot of people are just pressing that elevator button down.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Straight down.
They get in that elevator and they're like, yep,
One-way ticket.
bottom floor, please. It's going to be great.
Going to party. My friends are going to be there.
Yeah. So we're talking about
And boy, they're going to get disappointed.
Yeah.
the one-way ticket to hell and how everyone.
Well, if
looks
you
at
listen to the show, you've heard me already talk about it, but I brought up several times that this idea came to me because I'm driving behind somebody with a bumper sticker that says, I can't remember the exact saying, but more or less that they have their ticket to hell reserved. And of course, the bumper sticker was in the shape of like a movie ticket. And in the middle of it, it said something to that effect, I've already got my ticket for hell. And I thought, how much thought did you put behind that before you attached that to the back of your vehicle for everybody to see? But then again, when you start thinking about it, that's where a lot of people are, is they don't really take hell seriously. To them, it's like any other idea or slogan. They're not thinking very deep about the subject.
I think they're looking at it more so like as a place, and it needs to be more of maybe your well-being, like your relationship with the Lord. Like
maybe sometimes you got to look at it this way. Like some people think they are going to hell, but in fact, hell is going to consume their soul. Mm-hmm. And so it's not like you're even going to have a place there. Your soul is going to be consumed by it. And, when you hear in the Bible that they discuss about, gnashing of teeth and wailing and, the darkness and all that, it's not that you'll be with all these people.
Right. It's like a state of being. Like,
yes,
I'm happy,
your
sad.
Your soul is going to be in the state of just
misery.
Constant torment.
For all
24/7.
Yep.
Yeah. So you may never see another living human being.
No.
In that state.
No.
Which is probably part of it. Like you're not going to, have fellowship with anything other than your misery.
I looked up, this is our little history lesson for the word hell. So when Jesus was, preaching about it, it was, would it have been Hebrew or Greek? Offhand?
In Hebrew.
Hebrew? Okay. Duh. Yeah. So it was Hebrew for Genenna. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's Genenna.
We'll go with that.
But that was actually referring to the valley of Hinnom, which was in the Old Testament, like Jeremiah. I think it was Jeremiah.
And this is an actual place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this actual place used to be a place where the Israelites had to sacrifice their children. So, that's what he's referring to. Like, if anyone later to, and then after all of this is said and done, all these sacrifices happen. I don't know how many years later, but they ended up just using this like area to burn garbage. So it's like you couldn't even go to the place that you sacrificed your child because they're just burning garbage. Like that's this kind of place that Jesus was referring to. Mm-hmm. And like, we're not talking about this place where we're going to be able to just, la and hang out with our friends because we're all going to hell.
It's not going to be Woodstock.
No.
It's not going to be, you're not going to have 7 different stages set up with all your favorite heavy metal bands and all your friends will be there partying with you. And
well, you might, because they might be there too.
Well, like I said, I doubt you're going to really see them. And I don't think there's, but that's it's a culture. Yeah. And, when we were, our episode on Halloween last week, one we didn't bring up when we're talking about, we talked a lot about football, but, rock and roll, which since its inception, as a lot of people have called it the devil's music. Mm-hmm. That, and you can argue that one way or the other, but certainly, Satan has taken hold of certain parts of that music, and people have used it as a way to honor him. There's a lot of bands out there that are directly that, their songs are all about it, mm-hmm. Worshiping Satan. And
well, not only music. I mean, if you think about it, like the whole world, like,
I mean, we do worship our idols, our musical idols, especially here in America on a level, that we probably shouldn't do, but it's like anything else. But rock and roll music, I mean, and maybe not even so much rock and roll, but when we get into heavy metal, stuff like that, there's a lot of bands that's their gig. That's what they do is they write songs about it. They worship Satan through it. And whether they truly realize what they're doing or not, I don't know. Because, when I was in high school, I was a musician. I was learning to play guitar. And so, of course, I hung out with other kids that played music, to play guitar. It was just you gravitated towards people that did that. And you did have a lot of young guys who loved these bands that, that clearly some of their songs were about Satan, or they have a pentagram as their logo, different things like that.
Right.
But these kids, they'd be like the nicest kids in the world. Like they weren't like mean themselves, or they didn't really show any signs of like worshiping the devil or anything violent, anything like that. They were really nice, down to earth kids. But for some reason, they were really into that music. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I think a lot of people sometimes they don't even realize what they're truly doing. Like somehow they've accepted that culture and think it's cool and think it's a way to express themselves for whatever maybe feelings that they're having. And they just don't realize what's actually behind all that. So it's interesting that, just like this, we talked about Salem and young women wanting to be witches now, even though the women themselves at the time did not want to be accused of being a witch. We have this thing with rock and roll, with musicians, heavy metal, that there is a culture that has been built that is all about that. And you just have to question, because a lot of times, as I said, you don't see these people like coming up in the news as being violent people or doing this, doing that, but they're singing the praise of Satan in their music. Yeah. And it's just, like I said, we've just accepted it as part of our culture. And there's even other songs like, Highway to Hell by AC/DC, like, comes on the radio. I'll bet you there's not a second in this country of every hour, every day where that song is not playing somewhere on the radio.
That song comes popular on Jarvie like immediately. He turns it off. Boom. He's like, that is the worst satanic song.
Yeah, but we just accept it. If you hear it, a lot of times you hear it on the radio or at work or whatever, we've accepted it as a part of culture. Yeah. And that's a very dangerous thing.
And didn't he die shortly after writing that song?
You might be right about that.
I think he did.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
Very shortly.
I know he, it definitely wasn't very long after. So it's an interesting thing to.
Well, Oh, and I was about to say, when you were talking about that, I'm like, how many episodes have we done altogether? You think a lot?
Yeah, we're into our third season. I mean, if we're doing well, I mean, we're 45, 50 episodes a year.
And this is our fourth year.
Well, this is season 3.
Season 3. Okay.
So I think it's 3 years.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be heading into our fourth.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it took us this long to even talk about this. And it's like, wonder why, because it's something that people just, like you said, brush off or don't want to speak on, or, and
well, it's one of those things where it's hard to wrap your head around it.
And nobody wants to think that they're going to go to hell.
Yeah.
No. But but we got these people that think, well, that's okay. That's okay if I go because all my friends will be there. Like, they're not that worried about it. Like, they think, well, yeah, maybe it might not be the best thing in the world, but you know what? All my friends will be there.
Yeah.
That doesn't really make any sense.
And you know how you see, I don't know if it's movies but you always see them like showing Satan as like this ruler of hell or something. You know what I mean? Which, sure, but like, he's not having fun with you. Like, he is in misery. And I read something that said like, he's so jealous of us because we had the choice to get redeemed.
Well, he's jealous.
And he never did and never does and never will.
Yeah, God loves us in a way that he doesn't love Satan.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's
jealous. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, you're not going to be down there having a party with Satan. Like, he's going to hate you. Like, I don't think people realize that. Satan's not going to be your buddy.
No.
That's not how it's going to be.
No. He's there to,
He's a tormentor.
Yeah.
He's gonna
torment you because he doesn't
he's
like
the liar.
you.
He's the liar that's gonna make and that's the thing, is there's certain things in our society, in our world, that on paper they look good.
Yeah.
They look, and those are the things that, Satan will use to bring you to his side. And all he's trying to do is, he doesn't want you to look the other way. He doesn't want you to look toward God. So whatever he can use to keep you, to keep you off balance, to keep you distracted, that's what he's going to do till the very end, when you realize, it's too late.
Yeah.
And then he's going to reveal himself as what he truly is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's not, in these bands, you can have all this elaborate artwork of what the devil may look like and all this stuff. And it's probably like, he probably doesn't look anything like we projected.
Well,
yeah. Just like with Jesus, like.
Yeah. He was one of the chosen angels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah. So I mean, he I don't think he's ugly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gets a lot of people.
Society. Yeah.
Because they look at Satan as being with pitchfork and horns and all that, but he's going to look just like us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's how he gets his hooks into us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Believing, this is pretty cool. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. Yeah. And then after you do it, figure out, you get thinking, yeah, that was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also believe that because he was over the music in heaven, that's why he's got such a hold on music nowadays.
Oh, I didn't realize he was.
Say that again.
Yeah,
he was a musician in heaven.
I didn't know that. Huh.
And so he realizes the power that it can be in that. So he utilizes that to, I think, work through the music.
Sure. Okay. I did not know that either.
And I don't know where I've learned that, but I learned that over the years. Now, after I've said it online, I've been to Google, make sure it's true.
Well, it's like, okay, clearly God isn't going to be there. Everyone knows that. It's like in hell.
Oh,
yeah, right, yeah.
So it's like, but wherever God is not, because God is light, God is, a breath of fresh air, all these things, like, okay, so if God is light, clearly it's going to be so dark there. If he's a breath of fresh air, like, you're going to be suffocating. Like, it's going to be more than just the gnawing of the teeth. Like, I don't know. People just...
Well, I think one thing another interesting thing is, I think a lot of these people identify the devil as some sort of strength, some sort of physical power, that it's almost like, you can rally around Satan because, as I said, these images, a lot of times he's really big, he's really muscular, he's on fire, he looks like, he just like, oh yeah, that's, for whatever reason, that's some dude we want to follow, that's some dude we want to hang out with. And unfortunately for Christianity and Jesus, a lot of young people, a lot of people in general, can look at Christianity, the Bible, church, as belonging to old ladies and the weak and the people that are afraid to die, or the people that are, have weaknesses, that are trying to cling to something that isn't there. So we know that Jesus has all the power. We know he has total power over Satan. His strength is 100,000 billion million times stronger than anything the devil could bring against us. But people don't see Jesus as strength.
Right.
I mean, we do.
Yeah.
Like people that truly know, we do. But there's, I think, a lot of young people and a lot of people in general that don't see it that way.
Yeah.
They see like church is for old ladies.
And like a
it's for the weak.
weakness.
Yeah. It's just, it's not cool. There's nothing cool about it. And that's why they gravitate towards, these dark images and the music, which sounds really, masculine and, it's really loud and it's tough and so I think especially a lot of young men can gravitate towards that because they're looking for something. There's something they don't have that they need, that they're looking for. And for whatever reason, they gravitate towards that instead of gravitating toward Jesus. And perhaps it's just because, if you gravitate towards the devil, there's no expectation.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
There's no expectation from you to do anything other than do whatever you want to do. Where if you come to Jesus, well, guess what? You got expectations. There's things that you're expected to do. You're expected to live a certain way. And that's just too much for people to handle.
Yeah. It's so true.
So, it's all those things I think that, that people... I think it's just it's a culture. I really do think it's a culture that people fall into. I don't even think so much that it's a religion that they fall into as much as it is a culture.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting thing. I don't know if a lot of young men go into that thinking I want to worship the devil. I think sometimes it has more to do with they're already looking for something and they just gravitate towards that because, number one, it's in our culture.
And it's easy.
And it seems tough. It seems like it's going to build you up and keep you from getting hurt or keep you from, this or that. But, I think it's just hard for me, because I just tend to think that those people will spend the rest of their lives always searching for something.
Oh, yeah. The next best thing or
the next high.
Or you can never let your guard down. You're going to spend the rest of your life. Like I know guys that I went to high school with and I'll see them and they're still like painting their fingernails black. I'm like, that might have been cool when you were 16, 18, 20 years old, but you're almost like 50 years old and you're still painting your fingernails black. It's like, let it go. Like, what is it that, and I know that's a carryover from that lifestyle, from that music, from that imagery, from all of that. And I think, what in the world are you possibly at this point in your life getting out of that?
No.
What is it doing for you?
No.
Because it's like, well, dude still don't have a job. Yep, dude's still living with his mom.
Dude still has like an identity crisis 30 years later.
They're still searching. You can tell they're still searching for something that they don't have and they can't get it and they can't figure out why.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what puzzles me the most is like,
little bit.
You haven't even
just open that book. Yeah.
You haven't even considered the other side.
Right. Yeah. You're probably so lost, so dark, or so deep into that where you're like, not that you're questioning, well, it's not like I can open the Bible now because it's always there for you, but they're probably like, well, I've gone this far. I don't want to be wrong. And it's like, well, I mean.
I'm sorry, you're wrong.
I mean, okay, or that's your eternity.
A little trivia.
Oh, yes.
How many times is hell mentioned in the Bible?
Oh, well, I researched it in my Bible. I went into the index.
Did you count them?
I didn't know, but I'm going to say like 8.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah? Is it?
I think it's more, isn't it? Is it more or less?
It's more.
It's more? Like a lot more? What is it?
54 times.
54.
I was going to say 8 times 8, 64.
Oh, that's what I was trying to think. I was trying to think of what would come up.
Yeah.
But yeah, 54 times.
Huh.
Is it more in the Old Testament?
It's about half and
Good
half.
mix.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say there's more in the New Testament
Really?
because of Jesus' teachings
Right.
and teaching of hell. And,
That's what I was thinking with Revelations.
The lake of fire.
Yeah.
There's. I think in Revelations, but I think in Revelations it's only mentioned like maybe 5 times.
Okay. Huh.
But yeah, most of them. I mean, there are quite a few in the Old Testament.
Old Testament.
Yeah, that's just God, trying to scare everybody into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Jesus comes, He knows where it's at. So you got to pay a little more attention.
Well, the thing about our culture is, that for some reason we're always infatuated by the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like in any movie, or there's just people are just always infatuated with the villain.
Yeah, but you can always spot them.
Yeah, but it's just like there's no Batman without the Joker. Now you got to have the Joker to have Batman. You just do.
Well,
but
yeah.
a lot of people could be like, "I love Joker. He's the coolest villain ever." And sometimes I think that's another thing. Like we
idolize
villains in our society sometimes, because they're maybe in people that are not even much the villains, but just like they're the anti-hero.
Yeah.
It's very easy to, like we idolize anti-heroes. And this goes back to just, TV and Netflix, and we can make the worst people. As we were talking about Ed Gein, like they found a guy that's really good looking to play the part. Mm-hmm. And so they try to make him look like him, but it's like, well, he looks still, he's a good looking guy. And it's like we try to raise up these people to this level to where, we want to watch this stuff. We want to see what the villain's going to do next. So maybe that has something to do with it as well, as we can't help but, honor the villain at times. And you always want to see the villain come back one more time. And which again, good versus evil, you have to have evil to, for the good to overcome.
Right.
In any of those situations. But yeah, I mean, you can have a lot of people that prefer the villains over the heroes.
Yeah.
Even though they're not necessarily that way, like
right.
they would never like hurt another human being but there's just something about it. There's just something about.
And I don't think they realize it either.
Right. Yeah.
That they're,
and that kind of starts when you're a kid. When you're a kid, you kind of do that. You watch these movies and these TV shows, and the villains get to have all the fun. They get to do all the things that as human beings we would never do. And
right.
So sometimes you can live in that fantasy of thinking, oh, that he's pretty cool. But
but at the end, you got to think, you're going to get caught.
It's going to end badly.
Yeah.
And we all love, and most of the time it's like we all want to see, the villain get defeated one more time, but you're always happy when he comes back again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just again, society and culture, I think, kind of helps that along. And then, we've made this industry, like I said, out of these, something as simple as a bumper sticker. Somebody probably just saw that, thought it was funny, and decided to put it on the back of their vehicle, not realizing that, you really have just bought your ticket to hell.
Yeah.
Because you don't realize what you're doing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't you think people get caught up in their life and they know hell is real, but I'm a good person, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And then they just plow through life and life goes by so fast that they're never given that opportunity to make things right.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right.
Yeah. But the thing is they get so many opportunities throughout their life from God to just turn it around or just give your life to him. You wake up every single day. That is a miracle in itself.
Exactly.
You can easily turn it around right there. And, like, because people are saying, well, I've always been a good person, but what if I've been a good person, but I've never, had a relationship with him? Well, you had how many years, which is how many days? Like Pastor Michael says, like, God's a gentleman. He's not going to force himself on you, especially if you don't want that relationship, like, for your eternity. Like, I think that speaks volumes. Like, no wonder he's not pushing himself on you, because if you don't want that, then not that he doesn't want you, but I don't think you're deserving of it if you don't want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And let's be honest. How many people wake up in the morning and go, yes, it's time to get up.
Right.
I woke up again. Most of us, hey, let's be honest. We're like, when that alarm goes off, snooze. I hit it 3 times every morning, at least. Mm-hmm. Rarely do I wake up like, yes. Yeah. Like, and you got to wonder sometimes, is that the enemy just getting at you right from the beginning of the day? Like, instead of just waking up and ready to get at it, and you just wake up like, oh man,
another day,
10 more minutes.
Well,
it's hard to feel the blessing in
time.
it.
He is a thief of our time. So if he can keep us in bed, there 20 more minutes, so we don't have a few extra minutes to spend with God, he's going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So sometimes our attitudes right out of the gate is geared towards, we're not looking at the blessing that we have, or the life that we have, and been blessed with another day. We're thinking, is it just Friday yet?
Right.
2 more days.
2 more days. Yeah, we did. And I always think, that's the thing I always think about is, don't wish your life away.
That's right.
Like every Monday, you can't wait till Friday.
Yeah.
It's like,
you have to live
wishing your life away.
You just turn around and it's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
And before you turn around, 5 years is gone, and you're like, where did those 5 years go? Well, I'll tell you where it went. Wishing it was Friday.
Yep.
But that's human nature, I guess, and the devil can play off of that. We don't realize how blessed we are at times.
Yeah.
And we're even aware. We're Christians. We're aware of the blessings that we have, and we're still guilty of it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So I always think about the people that I'm like, how in the world do you go every single day without God? How do these people do it? Because it's hard enough.
Well, they just do it in misery, They don't.
Perhaps, but it's just like, how do you have the strength to do the things you need to do, and just have any type of peace of mind, and then how much weaker are you and susceptible to what Satan can do to you? And it's just like, I just don't know how people just get through one day without looking to God and saying, hey, I could use your help.
Right.
I could use a blessing here, a blessing there. But apparently, what we're talking about here is like, a lot of people can do that.
Yeah.
And it's just, like I said, I truly think that it starts out as a culture, as it starts out as something that seems fun, seems the in, and then before you know it, it's your life, and it causes you to never look in the other direction, towards God.
Right.
And I think that's Satan's big trick, is he's going to do whatever he can so you don't look in God's direction.
Yeah. Shiny.
Yeah.
Look what I have.
Yeah. For us Christians, we always fall short of the glory of God every single day, but we know
that we do
when we're doing that.
Yeah.
And we know to take it to God and have those conversations. But these people, they don't even know. I mean, they have no idea. And that's the worst part. Is like, they're going to get, as Beth said, they're going to get to the end of their life, and it's going to be that last day for them. They're just going to wake up in that torment.
Do you think as Christians we fail? Because when you're talking to people, you want to talk to them about Christ's love. We don't really throw out what hell's like and what it could be, because I don't know.
It's a scary place.
It is
scary. And when you say that, you feel like you're accusing people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they take offense to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as Christians, should we be talking more about that? And I don't know.
I think if they ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of, like, I think maybe relationships that let's just say work relationships that you're trying to win this person over, per se. Maybe that could be a time where you can, but like if it's just a small, I don't know, there's just little things in life where you barely talk to this one person, but you want to show Jesus, or you want, sometimes it's one-liners, like saying like, hey, if I were to pray for you, what would you want me to pray? Something like that. But I think if it was in that circumstance, I don't know how I could get creative in bringing up hell. Whereas if I had a relationship, like a work relationship that I knew someone for a few years, or like a mutual friend, I feel like that might be more prone, because I feel like they'll have more questions for me. And like, I think that could be a way that they could,
because
bring it up.
They know your lifestyle.
Like they know what I follow. Yeah,
and they would have questions.
Actually, I had someone ask me. She went to church growing up, and like she doesn't go anymore. But she was kind of like asking me if I think we're in the end times right now, and I'm like, well, I don't. No man will know that time, and but it was kind of nice, and I think she knew to have that conversation because she knows what kind of person I am.
Right.
So it was just nice to have that conversation.
Yeah, people know. I think people can see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See it on you and know that you're available to talk about those type of things. I think so, because I've had that happen, and you just people can see it.
Yeah, and I was thinking that the other day about my coworker, because there's certain things where she could get very frustrated and worked up about, like, typically I'm supposed to give her like 2 weeks to make something like a retainer or something. Well, we only did like 7 days, which really that's like 2 work days for her, because it's Tuesday, Friday that we work. And then she's in Millersburg another day, but she doesn't even work that day. So she really has like 2 days to get that one thing done, but she also has a ton of other things that need done. And I'm like, hey, this appointment was made clear back in September before I knew I should give you a little more time than, I didn't know. And she's like, oh no, it's fine. Like, but if it would have been someone else, like the world would have been crumbling down, I'm sure, but she just shows Jesus. She's like, nope, it's fine. We'll get it done, but I'm thinking if that was someone that wasn't a follower, believer, I just feel like it would have went a lot different.
Oh yeah,
went clear sideways.
Yeah.
With I'll give you an update on the totes I lost out of the back truck. Well, so in the end, the girl at the Home Depot in Massillon, she's like, it's a special item. If I had lids, I'd just give them to you. She says, but I can't do that because I don't have them. She says, so what you can do is just bring in the 8 totes without the lids. We'll return them for, full credit. And then you can order 8 more, and they'll come with the lids, and you'll be squared away. And I just told her how much I appreciated it. Yeah. And I told her, I said, I had a problem with an item last year, and you people were real good about fixing it, fixed it right away. I said, you guys just have great customer service. Well, I go in to return them in Massillon on Saturday, and I get up to the customer service desk, and there's this guy in a suit and tie, just looks real spiffy, just, you would think would be well put together individual. And something happened with his order. He either wasn't going to get it that day, or it didn't show up at the house, but he was just laying into these girls. The one was almost in the point of tears. And he's just screaming at them and saying, I got a contractor coming here at 2:00, and they're like, I know, and we're, just give us a few minutes. And he's like, you better get it.
No, Lord.
And just kept hammering him. And so I kind of like looked at one of the girls. I was just like, and I said, you girls are doing a great job. I said, I just want to let you know. I said, you didn't have to take care of me the way that you did. I said, this was a very expensive item. Yeah. I said, and you guys just did what you did for me, replaced them for me, gave him the credit. Mm-hmm. I said, you guys are doing a great job. Mm-hmm. I said, you have great customer service. I said, don't pay attention to that guy. Mm-hmm. Just try to let it
brush it under the rug, even though it's hard.
Yeah. And he was, as I was saying this to the girl, he was still going on about it. And it's just like, I mean, you have people that, again, if you would have looked at the guy, you would have thought, oh, he's a pretty intelligent individual. Like, he's got it together. He should have some form of. And apparently the guy, I guess it's in the moments where I'm thinking, okay, that person right there.
He felt entitled.
Or Christ isn't even like.
Yeah.
And
at the forefront, anywhere.
Not even like, you're not thinking about it at all.
Yeah.
And I get it. You can lose your temper. I get it. Things happen and nobody's perfect. But just the way he kept going on about it, I thought, I'd really just like to go over there and just say something.
Yeah, like they get it. Like
they get it.
Yeah.
Just
especially for how long it went on for, I'm sure, you to be like, okay, I really feel urged to say something because he's going off.
Yeah.
And then you're saying something and he's still going off. Like, I'm sure, he just wouldn't stop.
But I was just like, I just felt the need to tell him, like,
yeah,
you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Just, it'll be okay. So it's tough. But again, people, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to understand spiritually how somebody can operate in their lives day to day without trying to use some form of Jesus' his example and how you should handle situations, how you should treat people. And because I'm thinking, like, dude, I'm sure whoever this contractor is, he's not going to like fly off the handle and say, I'm quitting this job and I'm never coming back. And I'm sure most likely he would have been like, that's okay. We'll just reschedule it for,
exactly.
next week, or just let me know.
They probably would have been
I'll
happy to have like a short day like that, like a surprise short day.
Yeah. And I get it. Maybe the wife's hammering him. Like, she's got the expectation, so he has to go in there and lay it on them in order to make the wife happy. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just know when I called with my problem, I was just like, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I'm the dummy here that, thought I had it handled, and this happened, and I really need your help because I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm really, and they were just like, oh, just, didn't even think twice about it. And I thought that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because some people would probably just tell you, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Kick rocks.
You picked them up, you drove away with them.
Yep.
It is
once
what it
it's
is.
out of our hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's
so I just look at that as that's a blessing that I know God is taking care of me. As I told you, because that was a bad situation. Like, I was losing it out there on the road, but he took care of me. He took care of it all. And my wife's like, really? They're really going to take him back? They're really going to give you? Are you sure? And I'm like, that's what they said. Until the very end, when I got that receipt, there was doubts, like that they were actually going to do it. And I'm like, well, it's right here. I got the receipt.
Well, especially because you talk to one person and then you get there and you're like, is so-and-so? No, they left for the day. And you're like, oh, here we go.
They don't work here anymore.
Yeah.
Jackie? Who's Jackie? Yeah. I never heard of her. She lost her job yesterday. She's giving away free merchandise.
Yeah.
So, it was just like, she's like, are you sure? I'm like, that's what you told me.
We better go up now.
So it all worked out good. But sometimes it is all about how you treat people or talk to people, like you're saying, and handle a situation and show your, show your Christianity towards people. They can see that. And sometimes, people might be more willing to help you out. And
well, speaking of talking to people, like if someone were to say, and this is hard, you might have to think about it. Well, just leave me be. Like, let me go to hell. Like, I've never had someone say that to me, but like, because, like, we're obviously told to make disciples and like. Just
all we can do is pray for them.
Yeah. At that point.
Yeah. Pray harder for them.
But would you just like listen, acknowledge it, and then walk away? Or would you respond with anything? You know what I mean? Because I think my flesh would want to respond right away, but I'm like,
but there again, that's where you have to engage your brain, before your mouth, because a tongue will kill you.
Mm-hmm. I am froze.
I'm cold today.
Hot. I'm hot right now.
What do you think, Nick?
So you're saying if somebody says, "Leave me alone," if somebody's, I'm sorry, I was leaning back. So you're saying if somebody says to you, leave me alone, that's my business if I'm going to hell. you feel like your flesh wants to say something to them?
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. I've never had someone say that to me, but I'm just wondering if someone were to ever say that,
you would feel like you would have to.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's your flesh.
No, it wouldn't be my flesh.
It would be the spirit within you.
Yeah.
And you're crushed because you know what they're going
through. Right.
And you want to save them from that.
And I think that's part of it too. Like,
yeah, I mean, because sometimes people think you're judging them by saying that instead of you saying, I want to help you.
Yeah.
You know, they just take offense to it
and
right
I think
away.
that's the main thing. Like, I don't think they realize why we're saying it.
Because what do you know? You haven't been in their shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like they have a purpose, like they have a drive behind why they're saying just let me go to hell. Like, it's because you are offended that I'm trying to like help you, but you don't think I'm trying to help you. You think I'm like judging you and pushing my religion on you.
Yeah.
Which is not true whatsoever.
And that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Is, again, we'll listen to Highway Hell on the radio, turn it up full blast, and we'll accept it with no questions asked. Mm-hmm. But the Word of God, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. You can't just play that. You can't just start playing that on the radio. Yep. You just can't start coming in here talking about that. That's like, whoa, back up. But that's our society. That's unfortunately that's how it's become. So, yeah. And again, that's another one of great deceiver's tricks is that all his things will be easily accepted. Mm-hmm. Where the Word of God itself, there's always pushback. There's always pushback in the flesh, in the world. People always, it's just like right now, like, oh, can we talk about religion in school? Can we not talk about religion in school? Can we have a special church group for young teenagers in school, or can we not do it? What can we do? What we can't do? And there's this question, this confrontation about it, and it's like, why? Yeah. But that's where we are. Yeah. But we can bring all these other things into school, no questions asked, and we're all supposed to accept it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's just, for some reason, Satan is able to work it to his advantage to have all these things easily accepted.
Not only bring it into school, like require them to take this subject.
To understand
every single year. Yeah. Like science, like they teach the Big Bang Theory and all. And I will say most science teachers that are, in that field are kind of more non-believers, but I do know a couple that are believers, but a lot of the non-believers are probably trying to push, especially professors, trying to push their agenda on, because, if not, then you're just stupid. And why would you fall for that? Like,
yeah. It's very, that's, unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know how as Christians we can change that, because right now we are seeing a rise. Mm-hmm. We're on fire right now after the post Charlie Kirk and all those things, but it's going to cool off. Mm-hmm. It's going to cool off eventually, and then where will we be? How many of those people that were on fire about it are going to stay at that level? And sure, we might get a good many people that was their opportunity to find Jesus. But a lot of people might just get caught up in it and then slowly just go back to, life before that. Mm-hmm. But it'll be interesting to see. But there's still just a lot of things that, as Christians, it's not easy to share the word. Mm-mm. There's there's always pushback all the time.
All the time.
And that's one of our biggest hurdles. Like you say, like, when do you say something to somebody? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, most of the time for me, the way I kind of like to do it is I just like to, if we're having a good day at work, and honestly, I just like to slip it in there.
Yeah, like little Easter eggs.
Little Easter eggs where I'll be like, God has blessed us today, or, God's been good to us today, or just things like that. Rather than like preaching to people. Yes. It's just whatever's happening for the good. Mm-hmm. Then I just like to give the credit to him.
Give it to him.
And then if people just want to look at me like, well, that's kind of a weird thing to say, then they do. Or they can be like, oh, yeah, that's,
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe,
Mm-hmm. Maybe there is something more to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you get And then, as you said, hopefully people can see that in you and the way that you handle things and that you do have leadership. They can see that in you. And then when you speak things like that, then maybe the light bulb will go on like, yeah, I kind of want to do it the way he's doing it, the way she's doing it.
Yeah.
As opposed to just coming in here every day just being frustrated and
because clearly that's not working.
And looking for answers.
Yeah.
So that's the way I like to do it. And and then I have had people, because afterwards I think people do know, and then they'll come to you and ask you questions.
Right.
You know, and then once somebody opens up and starts asking questions, I feel like you can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
You can, go as far with it as you want to. But sometimes it's just getting that opening. To start talking about it.
I like
that's
that.
difficult.
Yeah.
Because you never know where people are.
Right.
In their spirituality or what they believe in, what they don't believe in. Yeah, it's very hard to know. So sometimes you just kind of, like I said, throw them little Easter eggs out and kind of see what you get in return.
Test the waters.
Yeah. And I feel sometimes that works better for me than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I don't want to push my religion onto them so hard that they run away.
Now, like, sometimes it can, a person, like, it could be very obvious. Like, I had a kid that works at the shop, and he was wearing this black T-shirt, and it says, "Choose death." And it kind of makes me laugh, and I'm just like, what's all this choose death stuff?
Yeah.
Like, what do you...
Did you ask him that?
Because I'm like, he's got a girlfriend, he's got a daughter, he loves his daughter, always worried about her, and that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes the culture part of it, you're like, man, this guy's
not logically,
ready to... like, it doesn't match up all the time.
Right.
So sometimes it's like, what is with this? Well, it's a band. And like I said, well, it's a band. I'm like, okay, but... Like,
and what about the band?
And then sometimes they just, it's just, it's a good band.
It's cool.
It's just a saying that they say.
And I'm like,
that you're now representing.
It's
everywhere you go.
So sometimes, like I said, it's cool to have this image to wear these clothes that say things like that. And it's like, but you wouldn't choose death. It's like, you're one of the nicest guys I know. And I know how much you care for your daughter. And it's like, why in the heck would you wear a shirt that says choose death?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the band says so? Just,
Yeah.
So it's hard to figure, especially young people out. But
I will say on my way here, I was listening to a podcast, Sadie Robertson, the Duck Dynasty, like granddaughter. She had the guy who invented the Bible app on and was like talking about their story and stuff. And because it was like, I don't know, originated in 2006. So that was like before any of the apps were even a thing. So he didn't even realize that he was going to make it an app. But all to say, they were talking about how it's really skyrocketed recently. And they're like, I guess Gen Z is so on fire right now and for it because there's so much stuff out there right now with like ChatGPT and AI that they don't know what is real. Like yes, there's been things like that around, but like it's never been this hard to distinguish. Whereas with the word, it's real.
Right.
And you know what I mean? I'm like, wow, I never thought of it that way. So, hopefully it's not just a phase and stuff, but I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, oh yeah, I can kind of see that. But I'm sure there will be some that kind of trail off, Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yep. Well, it's just, I think it's because I'll watch a lot of old, Billy Graham, stuff. And you can see how intently a lot of the young people are watching him and listening, and how many people the guy was filling stadiums at one point. But he didn't do that forever. And you wonder about those people in that time. Like, okay, so how many people went to hear Billy Graham speak? Might have been the first time they ever heard him speak. Maybe it changed their life completely.
Right.
Maybe it didn't faze them at all.
Yeah.
Maybe it got them for a while, and then they just kind of cooled off and forgot all about it and moved on to other things. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
There is always kind of a rise and fall. But culturally, It's always out there. The like I said, the bumper sticker mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's always out there. And, there's plenty of other bumper stickers that say things that, you can't repeat on the air.
Yeah.
That it's like, geez, you're just really just out to offend anybody that gets behind you. It's just, and that's the way some people like to live that way. Some people find joy in offending people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we were saying, go ahead.
At their own peril.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, we were saying like the whole party thing, like it's not going to be a party,
Yeah.
But even if it was, let's just say it was, which we know in the back of our mind it's not going to. But if someone is possibly listening to this and like, nah, it's going to be a party. Okay, well, clearly it's going to be full of sin, which just leads to, relationship issues, anger, like distress, all these things that nobody wants to deal with. And like, you're going to be dealing with that for eternity because, you're in hell and you want to be living like that. Like addictions, like that's still going to be around. Like, I mean, the worst of the worst.
Be like, okay, be honest with yourself. How's your life?
Yeah.
How's your life right now? Are you happy? Are you content? Are you healthy? All of those things. I think most people, if they were being honest, would be like, no, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
I don't feel healthy. And I don't have any, like I said, I don't have any purpose or direction. I'm always searching. Yeah. So it's hard to understand that. But again, I really, like I said, culture. We've built it up. Some people just build it up in their mind that, like, say it's going to be a huge stadium filled with people and all the best bands and all the best people and all the best beer and all the best cigarettes. And, they think it's just going to be, oh, well, like you said, oh, well.
Yeah.
That's my business. If I'm going to hell, I think Jerry Lee Lewis said one time, if I'm going to hell, I'm going to hell to play the piano. Well,
they're not going to have pianos.
so it's just like...
Any joy? If that brings you joy, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's true, though.
So,
when I think of hell, I think of my worst emotional, painful thing in my life that ever happened to me.
10 times
and
worse.
having to relive that over and over and over and over again.
No
every
end.
day. There's no end to it. You're just constantly reliving that over and over and over again.
Like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And I mean, I read something, actually it was in my Bible. It was in one of my footnotes because it's like a study Bible like Nick's, but it said, that hell is going to be like worse than cancer. Like think about that. Like you see cancer running rampant right now and it's like, and it's terrible for everyone involved. And it's like, it's going to be like,
it just doesn't affect the person
10 times worse than
I know
that.
that firsthand. Just don't affect the person that's ill.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
It affects everybody. The whole family, everybody, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like people.
Which, as we talked about, that's what sin does.
Yes.
A lot of times you think it's only going to affect you. Well, 10 times out of 10, it affects somebody else, even if you don't think it's going to, even how harmless you think it's going to be, it tends to affect somebody else down the line somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, and then how those sins turn into generational curses.
Yep.
You see it repeated over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you got to have someone strong enough to put their foot down and say, I'm not doing this because I suffered when I was a kid, so I'm not letting my son do that, or vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's one thing I could change about Christianity and the church and just the whole how people view all that, it's just I wish more people could view it and look at it as a strength. As I wish they could look at Jesus as a strength, as being, all that, like I said, all the images that you have of the devil and all that stuff. It's like I want people to look at Jesus with a sense of like, like, wow, like just with awe, like, this is something this Christianity is something that strong men do. That's what strong men take up. Yeah. When you're taking up your armor of God, you're taking up the full armor of God because you want to be strong. You want to be in the light. You want to be, useful. You want to have purpose. It's not something that we all go do because we're soft and we, we don't like to have fun or, we're just, I want young people to be like, no, this, Jesus is strength.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I wish perception could change
shift.
about the way people look at it from the outside.
Yes.
Is that, you're not coming to something that is going to, because you're weak or because, you're done having, you've had your fun in life and it's over and now you're going to, come to church 3 times a week and you're going to dress different and you're going to comb your hair for a change and, and things like that. Because I think that is the perception. People don't understand why we do what we do, why we believe what we believe, because they don't see it as being powerful, as being, something that can give you strength. And to me, that's, I don't know. How do you get around? How do you change? Because we know the church in itself, that's the thing. We do have the Bible, the word to follow. Like we have to be in the word every single day. So for a lot of people, that's too much work. You're just asking way too much.
So are you asking us?
Like
as a topic idea, how do we change that?
How do you change that perception? So young people,
or even just people in general.
Somebody that's they'll be like, "Yep, time to There's always these people like, "Well, it's time to get more ink. Gotta go get more ink," and they want to put another tattoo on their body, and it could be like a cross in flames, or it could be a demon, or it could be a pentagram, it could be, just anything. And they're so willing to do things like that, but they have no will or desire, whatever, to come to the Lord. And I just think it's because their perception of it is not one of strength.
Yeah.
That's just,
I
don't want to say how do we make Jesus cool? Like, how do you make him, like, for young people to be like, how do you make them want to desire? Or
just change the perspective? Because, I mean, let's be honest, mostly the world's perspective of Christianity is, it's just something I have to do, or it's something, that they're telling me to do, or, they're not looking at it as what it is for us.
They're not looking at
it
as freedom.
Yeah.
Jesus is freedom.
Yeah.
But they're not looking at it that way. They look at it as, it's going to be a prison.
Yeah,
I'm going to be, now I have to do everything a certain way, and I get told what to do, and I got to give up all these things I used to do, and, and they just, or just, it's one of those things. You look at a young person, and I'm sure, if you're a young person that does love God, that does want to have a relationship with God, talk about God, the other kids kind of look at him like there's something wrong with you. Well, and how do you change that?
Yeah.
Because they look at as Christians as being weak, that we have to, depend on somebody else.
Right.
Or, this being that they don't know or don't trust. And if they only knew how, when they're out there in the world, Satan's knocking at our door continually.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And we have to be strong. We have to have that relationship with Jesus Christ. We have to be in the Word. We have to have that, guidance and the relationship with other Christians, and so we can keep going every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
But most of them don't even give it the time of day to even think. First off, to even listen to us say that one sentence, hey, it's actually pretty hard whenever I drop everything and follow him, because now Satan's like, oh, wait a minute, I got to get this person back. Like,
we're losing one. Come on, let's go.
Yeah,
rally the troops.
Yeah, there's a new TikTok, something new on YouTube, and we were all kids. Kids are kids. There's plenty that keeps. Children definitely aren't idle. There's always something grabbing a child's attention, and it was no different with me. But I guess I'm talking about that level of when you're reaching that level of your maturity, when you're actually going to go out into the world and do it for yourself. If you don't have that as part of your plan, I just don't know how I don't know how they're going to do it, because I don't know how I would have done it.
Well, they're going to fall into sin and destruction, and then probably be harder to, get back get all together, I guess.
It's so easy to say I would have changed this in my life, changed that in my life. There's plenty of things that have happened in my life I wish would have never happened. But then again, I think about, but all those things, for whatever reason, when I'm 13, I'm opening up a Bible. And I see it now more, now that Maggie's 14, I see how amazing it was.
Yeah,
because now I see how young I was.
Yeah.
Because I felt older at 13, 14 years old. And, at the time I felt older. But now that I see Maggie just being a teenager, being 14, I realized, wow, I was really young. And it's amazing that, I was either given that opportunity or gave myself that opportunity to already be reading the Bible at that age and wanting to do it. Even if I didn't really understand it all. Just the fact that I was doing it, just I was looking in that direction.
Well, I mean,
to me now is an amazing thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you were speaking about Maggie, and maybe you weren't, but would it be a question and answer type of thing? Does she have questions, and are we able to answer them? And even if it was bring her in here, hey, we just want to talk to, hey Maggie, we want to talk with you in the podcast. Someone your age, you want to sit down, just talk about Jesus, maybe that'll help her. I don't know.
Well, it's just, it's boring.
Yeah.
Again, that's another thing. Yeah. It's to kids, a lot of times it's boring. It's another form of history, which most kids hate history. So it's like I said, it's how do you keep a young person's attention and their eyes in that direction instead of YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to do that. Like I said, I thought it was pretty amazing when I was 13.
Yeah.
There wasn't none of that around then.
Right.
So now I know it's even harder.
But I believe truly in my heart, when you were at 13, God was preparing you for what was forthcoming.
Yeah. I mean, there really is no other answer for that. It must have been. But I was able to see the strength in it. I never looked at Jesus like he's for old people, or I really saw, I could see it, what he was at that age.
At that age.
And then, of course, even if you read Revelation and you read those passages and you think, he's got all the strength. In the end, he's
right.
You can, it's very descriptive about, what he's going to do, and his angels are going to do all those things, and it's he's nobody to mess with. It's just most kids may be oh, it's just a dude with a beard and a white robe and sandals. But
That's
I was able to see through that to see the God, the Jesus that was on fire that was that was going to, and to me it was that's pretty clear to me. But maybe that's perhaps a rare thing. But again, that's just what I wish more people would see, be able to get that perception of who he truly is up against Satan, and the power that he has, that he's going to go back into hell and take the keys, himself. You can see all those things. You can visualize those things, but be able to get kids to do that, like I said, how do we do that? I think that's one of the biggest hurdles in the culture that we have. And it's just getting worse by the year with, social media, that the distractions are just getting bigger and bigger. And, I don't know. It's just, like I said, it used to be, you didn't have that distraction. The family was a very close unit, and you were all together at night. And a lot of times the only thing you had to do was everybody's going to read a passage from the Bible. So it kept families close to God. Now, it's most of the time I think, everybody's confined to their own space. Yeah. Everybody's on their phone in a different corner of the house doing their own thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that's called a thing. Was it living room parents or living room child, or I can't remember what it was, or were you a living room child or a bedroom child, and I've been seeing that randomly, but it's clearly if you were a living room family, you guys were happier, and you probably still are happier than any other family.
You actually have memories.
Yeah, right.
Things to talk
I was
about.
the living room child because I was remote control.
Yep.
Turn to channel 3.
Turn that up to channel 8. I think you got 7, 8, and 5 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, that's the thing. Hell is real. And it's not a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
Mm-mm.
You know, things that, you know.
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, you know. It's just I don't know. I've never personally thought that using that approach to really be like hell is real, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like the right way, because you'll see the billboards.
Right.
Yeah, well, you'll see hell is real, and you know, and all these things. I'm like, I don't really know if that's
The way to do it.
the right approach. I don't know.
I
Maybe
really
you should
think
start
by
there.
Showing Jesus' love.
Yeah.
Because really, how much love are there a lot of these people getting in this world right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah.
You know, we have to show his love.
Yeah.
And then maybe once you draw them in and they're interested in wanting to learn, share what can happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think you should ever take the approach of making somebody fear not making that decision. You know what I mean?
All right, I need to bring something up then. Was anyone familiar with Hellstop?
Yes.
Yes. Did you go to Hellstop?
I believe so, with the wrecked cars
Uh-huh.
and all that. Yes.
So it was like typically around this time of year, right? Because it was like bonfire time, and they would. I can still remember clear as day, and maybe that's like some trauma in me. I don't know. But the one kid, he was probably 10 or 11, and he was always a hellion. Mind you, he was the pastor's son. But they, we're walking in like a group of 10 of us, and they chose him to be the one that was like, hey, we're going to, like, what was it, 45 minutes that you walked through this whole... it was long. And at the very end was when they did the car, right? But it was like saying, they chose him to say, to either stay back with his friends or party or something, and he went and partied and drunk driving, I believe, and then it just basically took you through what happened like at the scene, and then towards the end it was almost like hell, wasn't it? Like, this is what will happen if you don't, see you, I don't know, have a relationship with Jesus, just come to Jesus moment. And yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, that was the first thing I thought of whenever I was thinking about this topic. I don't know why, but I mean, it was traumatizing, but at the same time, I mean, I took some friends with me. Like, I think I took 4 friends from the volleyball team, and I'm like, well, maybe that stuck with them. I don't know. But did you go to one? I think it was down south, like Cambridge area.
Because I think we went, when I went, Jarvie and I went as chaperones with the youth group.
Yeah.
And
we went to a couple of them. Judgment House. We went to Judgment House up in Mentor.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't Mentor. Where was that at? It was up north.
Like Mansfield or something?
No, I don't. No, it wasn't Mansfield. But it was a huge church.
Really?
And they had, I think their last scene was the drunk driver with the wrecked car.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Well, and then they had us like carrying the casket too. Like, we had to carry a casket.
It was intense.
It was intense.
It was.
It was.
And there was many a knees dropped. And just pray that it did touch them to want to make changes.
So I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Your little fears.
I don't know though.
Well, but did they follow through?
Right.
That's the thing.
Right. And like,
Yeah.
Because I was just listening to a podcast. I think it was the cult. It sounds like a cult. It's the lighthearted. Typically, it's lighthearted, cults, quote unquote cults that like, cult of Peloton or the cult or Adidas, all these things. And this one was about Christian music. And they mentioned Hellstop and stuff, and was kind of just saying that it was almost like pushed them away further. I don't know. that was them too saying that. So I don't know. I was like, once they started talking about that, and then I was like, okay, I'm done with this episode. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, the cult of Christian music. Because they were saying how it's on the uprise with there are a ton of songs that are now on the secular radio, and
and you have to wonder, that thought crosses your mind. Okay, now this is profitable. So how many people are getting into this because, perhaps they couldn't make it in rock and roll. Perhaps they couldn't make it in country music. So, So hey, there might be a door opening us for Christian music. It could be profitable. Let's jump in. So there is
a valid point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, that's one thing that I kind of, I consider.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And I know how important eternity is. I know it's important to all of us. It's where we end up in this life is a part of the journey of our story. But I'm always just very big on, don't just come to Jesus in the last moments because you're afraid where you're going after.
Yeah.
Think about the life the gift of life that God gave you.
Yes.
Think about that. Like, if you're not following Christ, if you're not trying to live within Christian principle, how good is your life going to be without him? Like, don't throw your life away. And there's so much, life can be so enjoyable. It can be so rewarding. And, don't just start going to church because you're afraid of what's going to happen when you die.
Yeah.
Think about right now, the way you're living and how you live. And,
Yep.
the people you love and the people you work with. I mean, all those things, it's going on right now.
Yeah,
God gave you this life to enjoy, as a gift.
Yep.
And don't wait.
Yeah.
Don't wait till the end and worry about, don't come to God just because of the eternity of it.
Yeah.
You're wasting your life. You only get one.
Yep. And I think a lot of the times with those ones, I'm like, like the thief on the cross, like, he was promised for, to be up in heaven. But it's like, I think like.
But how much more enjoyable could that thief's life have been if he had had the word sooner?
That and
to live,
when you're up there, I can't remember, was it whenever we were talking about the crowns. Maybe? And it's like, hey, this is what you did with your life. But like, this is what I wanted you to do with your life. And this is how many people you could have saved, like almost like rewinding all these certain situations in your life. And you're like, oh, wow. But since I didn't feel like doing anything till I was on my deathbed and wanting that relationship, then I didn't get to save all those people. Or I didn't get to help all these people. You're going to be saved from the burning
building.
Yeah.
But that's it. You're going to escape by the skin of your...
Yep.
But think about all the other crowns you could have had in this life. How many people you could have reached or the things you could have enjoyed and experienced. And
I like to think, I like to think that maybe the people that I did form a strong bond with, or even, helped come to Christ or something, like, I like to think that maybe when we're in heaven that we have a stronger bond because of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, like a little guardian or something, or a little mentor. And like, I didn't realize I was being that at the time because I wasn't sure if they'd be coming, but now I do know.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. You could have planted that seed 20 years ago. Somebody will find this podcast 20 years from now. Who's to say? This, by just some chance, this is the first one they click on, they start listening to it, and the light bulb goes on. Yeah. We've done our job.
Yeah.
If that's all we ever do in this life,
right?
We've done more than, a lot of people could ever hope to do.
Almost 2,500 times.
Yeah.
2,500 opportunities.
Yeah.
We're 27 away.
You threw that in there.
And all four of us, we're not going to get everything right.
No.
No.
I
certainly haven't in this life, and I'm sure I'm going to make other mistakes along the way. But in spite of myself, I'm going to keep doing this, keep serving the Lord, keep trying to reach other people so they can do the same thing. Yeah. So they can have the blessings that I've had, they can have the grace that I've had. That's what it's all about. But if you can just get out there and just do a little bit of work, it goes a long way. Like I said, you just never know who that person's going to be. And it might, like I said, it might mean not only their salvation of the life they have in the now, but also the salvation in eternity.
Yeah.
I mean, what greater work is there? So, that's It's pretty cool to think about.
Yeah.
But having a bumper sticker on the back of the car saying, got my ticket to hell is not helping anybody.
Nope.
It's just not, that's not helping a soul out there.
Actually, yes, it is, because it prompted this podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
That'll be Jesus' wink to you.
If I ever see this person again, if I ever see that vehicle again, and I just happen to see him get out of the car.
Here's the link to our podcast.
You've inspired an episode. Please listen to it. So that would be very cool, actually.
Yeah.
And it's possible.
Anything
because I saw it here locally.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very possible I'll see it again.
Yeah.
Maybe. You never know. So
keep this link in your notes on your phone just in case.
Yeah. Oh, I won't forget. If I see it again, I won't forget.
He'll be up there banging on the window to stop like, hey.
Because it just hit me hard the first time I seen it. Like, so it was a big gold movie ticket, and I just kept like, what? I don't know.
Yeah.
Then again, not everybody gets to have Abraham Lincoln on a pair of socks.
Fuzzies.
Yeah.
Fuzzy wuzzies.
So we can't all be wearing Abraham Lincoln socks.
I've seen those. I thought, those are nicked through and
Those
through.
are.
Serious socks for not so serious people. This episode was brought to you by Foozies.
Foozies. Foozies or fuzzies?
Well, it's double
I
O.
don't know.
Oh.
Foozies.
Foozies.
It is foozies.
Fozzie.
Footsies.
Roger got hammers and saws.
Yeah, mine's got hammers and saws on them.
Oh, man. It's funny.
All right. Well,
whose turn is it to pray?
I don't know.
I think I prayed last.
I think it's mine.
Yes. Okay.
I saw her looking at Nick. I thought she was going to try and slide.
She's used to it now.
I saw it.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this opportunity to come together, dear Father God, and discuss heaven and hell, dear Lord. And we ask that, the topic that we talk tonight just reaches out to someone, dear Father God. And we ask that you just instill in each and every one of us, not just here tonight, but listening, that you let us be that light in someone's darkness, dear Lord. That you just let us be that one to share your word and share your love, dear Father God. And dear Father God, we ask that you just be with each and every one of us as we travel home tonight, that you just put a hedge of protection around us and bring us back at our next appointed time. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hey friends, Pastor Michael again. If you've enjoyed this podcast, you should consider joining us on Sunday mornings. Our address is 1943 North Water Street Extension in Yorksville. We'd love to have you join us for an in-person service.